All right. I feel like we have to discuss drugs. Now, drugs are a big part of the adult film industry. I'm sure a lot of people know that. And the people who don't know it are probably assuming, sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's always been a thing that they group together. Well, I I disagree. Um, it's a very dangerous game when you're playing with drugs on set. Now, let me tell you why. There's a consent form that you fill out when you go to a studio scene. Now, you'll be on camera, they'll film you, and they'll ask you a bunch of questions. One of those questions is, are you on drugs right now? Are you sober? You say yes. So, if you're on video saying yes, and then all of a sudden you go into the bathroom and use drugs and overdose and die in that bathroom, everyone on set, including the model that you're filming with, is now liable for murder. You just admitted you weren't on drugs and then you overdosed and died. A lot of people overdose on set. A lot. Now, I'm getting a lot of backlash for saying Drake and Silas are on drugs because I don't know the life they had growing up. I did 4 years in fucking maximum security prison and I was addicted to every drug out there. I've been gang raped. Okay? I don't care what they've been through, they have no excuse for the stuff they do. Porn is $1 trillion a year industry and it doesn't drug test. What $1 trillion company does not drug test models, people, employees? Why why is porn a laughing stock to the feds? Everyone laughs at porn. Now you know why. There's no rules or regulations. If someone steals all my videos, which they do, and they create their own website, they can sell all my videos with zero laws. I can't. What am I going to do? The only thing I can do is ask them to take it down. They have 7 days to take it down. Here's the loophole to that. You take it down and you repost it. I might not find it again for 2 years. There's no laws. It's not like a Hollywood video where if you get caught selling it, it's 10 years in prison. Nope, because the Democrats didn't want to put rules and regulations on anything. Did you guys know that the Trump administration made it so that porn stars can get visas? Actual work visas now. If Trump hates porn so much and Republicans hate porn, how come he passed that? That was like a couple days ago, a week ago. The Democrats never even thought of doing that. And before you guys bring up Project 2025, Project 2025 jumped ship and went to the Mike Pence campaign about 2 months ago. Since people are so focused on the Epstein list, they forgot about everything else in the world. So, and I know people are going to say, well, why are all these restrictions in states for adult films? Like why can't Texas watch Pornhub? Canada owns Pornhub. Canada owns AYLO. AYLO. Look it up. There's a bunch of different websites on there, like Brazzers and all the ones that have restrictions. Yeah, it's not Trump restricting things. That's Canada. Why is Canada doing this? Because Canada doesn't like Trump. And Democrats are so gullible that they will believe Trump's going to ban porn if they put restrictions on porn. Because all they have to do is say, Trump hates porn. He's blocking sites. And no one's going to do research to see who owns those sites. Because those sites are all owned by Canada. I want you to find one American made site, an American ran site, that has a restriction on it. They don't exist. Trump doesn't want to ban adult films. That was a Democrat lie. It always has been. That's why he was on stage saying that Project 2025 was a joke and he had no part to do with any of it. It's not Trump's fault you didn't believe him. Trump was only on the cover of Playboy for like 2 years. Like, you know how much money he makes every year off the porn industry? Enough to have his fucking hotels in gold. Enough to pay with his own money to redecorate the ballroom in the White House. Enough to fund his own $250 million birthday party and also pay to celebrate the 250 year of the Marines. You know, the government didn't pay for that. That all came from Trump's pocket. No one seems to mention that. You know, the White House, it's a historical building that has black mold everywhere. But the laws say you can't redo or rebuild because it's a historical building. Trump's a billionaire. Why would he want to live in a house with black mold in D.C., one of the most dangerous places in America? You know, that's why the Marines were sent there. D.C. has one of the highest crime rates in the country. It always has. It's always been a really shitty place to live. And for some reason, they put the president there. Trump's not some broke-ass Democrat that has to steal all this money. You know, he's a billionaire. He deserves to be treated and live like a billionaire president. Look at all the other presidents in all the other countries. They don't have black mold in their house. How come the U.S. does? Is that because we're so focused on sending monies to the Leering centers in Minnesota to teach their dumbass kids how to leer? We're going to be leering today. It's ridiculous. People are so gullible. I don't understand. And then everyone's going to say I'm wrong because CNN fucking says so. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry CNN is so credible. You know, I make like $50 a month saying my news to everybody. I do this because I care. You know how much those people at CNN make? A lot. You know, let's pay them $100 a month. Everyone that works for media outlets, they make $100 a month like I do. Let's see if they still speak the truth, being paid nothing. Because I guarantee it, they won't. Man, they probably wouldn't even show up to work. They fucking hate their jobs. They're literally paid to lie. That's why Obama took away the law holding the media criminally accountable for lying. Section 107(8) of the Smith and Munson Act. Literally, it's section 107(8) of that. I know the whole bill is about completely other shit, but section 107(8) is the part where we used to be able to hold, like if CNN lied, they'd be charged for treason. But Obama changed that law because the Democrats love to lie. That's literally all they do. You know, excuse Trump for saying that he for saying live that he grabs her by the pussy. He doesn't read off of a teleprompter. Trump has never really, and the one time he did, they froze it. You know, every time, it's like the escalator thing. You know, it just stops working. The fucking escalator worker just stops it because they hate Trump. It's not fair. You know? It's like, I don't know. It's just, the world's a mess. And the media is just ridiculous. It's just lie after lie from the Democrats. And then whenever we catch the Democrats doing something, they bring up they're like, well, Trump's in the Epstein files. Yeah, the only thing that Trump's in there for is for telling the girls not to go with Epstein. The only other reason Trump's in there is because Bill Clinton molested him. Bill Clinton forcibly raped him and made him give him a blowjob. That's what Democrats do. They rape and molest. That's why Pizzagate is a thing. You know, that's why Diddy, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, John Wayne Gacy. I mean, list goes on and on. Every single elite pedophile that has these massive, massive pedo rings is a Democrat. Yeah, they might have some Republican employees, but the ringleaders are all Democrat. Always. Every single time. But somehow it's still a conspiracy theory because CNN says it is. Well, it must be true if CNN says it is, and with that, I thank you. Mwah.